Dear student, myself Rajendra Asiri. I am assistant professor in computer science department at Government Bangat PG College, Daytona. In the previous lecture, we have discussed various concepts about authentication services. We have discussed Kerberos. We have discussed X.509 authentication services. So Kerberos we have done already. X.509 also we have discussed or we have started, and basics has been already discussed in the previous lecture. Now in today's lecture we will be extending this X.509 concept. So certificate format, X.509 certificate format, all the field we have already discussed, and every field is dedicated for a different purpose, right? So now the question arises that how a user can obtain a certificate from the certificate authority, right? CA. So obtaining a user's certificate. So characteristic of a certificate generated by the CA. Once CA will digitally sign the certificate with its private key, and it will give to the user. Then what are the various categories, what are the various characteristics comprises in a certificate are: any user with access to the public key of the CA can recover the public key that was certified. Clear? So the user which have access to the public key of the CA can recover the user's public key that was certified. Clear? No part other than the CA can modify the certificate without this being detected. Right? This is very important. Means any part of the CA, no part other than the CA, clear, can modify. Modification can be done in a certificate only and only by CA. Other than this, no one can modify the certificate. Right? Now in X.509 certificate authority, there are hierarchies there, right? So if you see in hierarchy, one root is there and then various levels are there. When we go in depth, then new branches will be keep on adding. So if you look in this particular diagram, so U is giving the authentication service to the child, that is V, right? So U double less than sign, V double greater than sign. So in this block, double less than and double greater than sign, we are writing what? The child, right? So U is giving the authentication service to the V, and in the next every at every node we are writing in the reverse manner also, means U to V as well as V to U. Clear? This bonding we need to show at every node. Similarly, if we go in detail, so V is having two branch, left, and at left there is W and at right there is Y. Clear? Which providing authentication to two node. So how to write down VW? V double less than sign W and double greater than. In this block we need to write down clear angular brackets, clear, double angular bracket, and W in the double angular bracket V. Similarly for the V to Y, like V the angular bracket Y and Y angular bracket V. Now W is extended further in the next level to X. So how to write down? W to X, X to W, and X to Z. Clear? In this manner we can just extend the hierarchy of the X.509 certificates, right? Now once we have issued a certificate, can we revoke the certificate? Clear? And if we are revoking, then why we need to revoke? Clear? So there are various reasons for the revocation. Clear? The user secret key is assumed to be compromised. Once the user secret key is compromised, then there is no need to use that particular certificate further. Clear? In this manner we need to revoke the certificate, and new certificate should be issued from, or we request to the certificate authority for issuing the new certificate. Clear? So first case, the compromise of the secret key of the user. In this case revocation is must. Second is the user is no longer certified by this certificate authority. There is a time validity associated with a certificate, and if the validity expire, clear, or if the certificate is no longer certified, that means validity already expired, then in that case also we need to revoke the certificate and new certificate should be requested from user to C. Clear? In response, CA can just issue the new certificate signed by its private key. Next is the CA's certificate is assumed to be compromised. Certificate authority authentication server issues some certificate. So if that certificate is assumed to compromise, clear? So in three cases, secret key of user compromise, validity, and third is CA's certificate is compromised. Then clear. Now authentication procedure, there are various type of authentication procedures are there for X.509 strong authentication procedure. So first I am zooming it out. One way is there, two ways there, and three ways there. All three modes of authentication is there. So just zooming it out. First is sender and receiver. So in one way authentication, the source is clear, sending authentication parameter to the receiver, clear, source and destination we can say. So sender and receiver, like, clear. So it is having various timestamp is there, signed data is there, clear, and key is encrypted with the public key and private key combination. So digital signature is also there. So in one way authentication, only source is requesting, source to destination authentication will be provided. In two-way authentication, first step is same as the one-way authentication, clear, means A to B, suppose A is sender, B is receiver, so A to B is same, clear, but B to A same procedure will be followed. So that's why it is called as what? Two-way authentication. It is more secure than the previous one-way authentication, right? Three-way authentication is we can say generally it is same as three-way authentication is generally same as the handshake processing, right? In handshake, what we do? Suppose sender to receiver, then receiver to sender, and then again sender to receiver. Clear? So in this manner, it is a three-way handshaking, or we can say three-way authentication, most secure process, right? It is a most secure process. So in this manner, authentication procedure can be implemented, right? Uh, After this, so X.509, if I summarize X.509, then the ultimate focus is that in X.509 authentication server, there we need to here we need to maintain a hierarchies there. Means suppose one particular component is providing authentication service to the another, then another also can provide to the third person. So in this manner a hierarchy will be created, tree like structure will be created, clear. And once the certificate is assigned to a particular user, it doesn't mean that it will be used permanently, clear. One time stamp is associated with every certificate, secret key is associated with every certificate, and certificate authority signature signed with CA's private key is also attached with the certificate, clear. So in case if the certificate is compromised by, or it is just modify, or it can be just breached by the attacker, then in that case we need to revoke the certificate, clear. We need to revoke the certificate. So once we revoke a certificate, then in the certificate authority hierarchy, in the certificate authority hierarchy, the chain mechanism will be started. Suppose X is revoking, then W certificate also revoked, like that, clear. Up to the root we need to go in reverse manner, right? So this procedure can be implemented with the we can say authentication services, clear. So in this manner it can be used X.509. So in the next lecture, we will be discussing about the new concept. Means all of you used are using the e-commerce applications, right? So we are doing making the transactions. So in that we need to secure the security, right? Like all of you have seen the address of the site, particular site. If HTTPS is there, then we say that the channel is secure. Clear? The communication is being secured. If you click on the HTTPS, then you will see that channel is secure or connection is secure. It means we can proceed with the communication or we can do transaction. Clear? So here one special concept is there, SET, secure electronic transaction. Clear? Whenever we are making a transaction, then the transaction is just authenticated by a third party. Clear? Means if we are making transaction, so bank can do the transaction on behalf of the user. So how this concept is implemented, all these concept we are going to learn in the upcoming lectures. So in this authentication lecture series, we have discussed about in the last 10 to 12 lectures about email security. We have discussed PGP protocol, we have discussed S-MIME protocol, various type of cryptography, compatibility, zip algorithm, compression algorithm used in email security. All this concept used in PGP protocol, all we have discussed. Clear? Then we have discussed S-MIME protocols, then Kerberos security protocol we have discussed in very much detail, all the ingredient of the Kerberos, how it is started and giving the authentication services, and how the ticket is generated, how ticket is granted, and how this ticket is helpful in ensuring the authentication of authenticity of the sender and receiver. Clear? After that, in the just previous lecture, we have discussed started X.509 security services, X.509 authentication server services, and how the certificate authority generate the authentication certificate, what are the various ingredient of the generated certificate. Clear? All these concepts we have already discussed. In the upcoming lecture, we will be focusing on the transport layer security, that is TLS, and new version or different version is SSL, that stand for secure socket layer protocol. Clear? So all these concepts will be delivered in the upcoming lecture. So up to this point, thank you all.